Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the freeze response a little bit. So, a couple of signs of freeze, some of the most common signs of freeze, and how to work with the freeze response. So, some of the most common signs of freeze are overwhelm, feeling like if you physically move, something bad is going to happen, feeling physically stuck in one place. That's huge with freeze. Brain fog, mental stuff, feeling like if you try to focus, you can't, or it strains your brain in a way that feels uncomfortable and unproductive. It just activates you if you try to visualize or focus your attention on something in that forward focus kind of laser beam type of way that your brain's like, oh God, no, can't do that. Like prefrontal stuff, counting, math, reasoning, that sort of thing can all feel very difficult when you're in freeze. And again, the physical depression is a big one. Feeling hopeless, feeling despairing, having suicidal ideation, all of that's very common and par for the course with the freeze response. So there's your kind of run of the mill signs of freeze. Feeling a sense of despair, wanting to give up, feeling like everything is hopeless. Those are all just classic signs of freeze. All of that is freeze. There's more too. We'll start there. Chronic fatigue is also just the freeze response. And one of the things, I just want to give you a little process to work with freeze today, because this is key if we really want to work with freeze, is to recognize that the message behind the freeze response is if you move, you're going to die. That is the message. It is a protective, animalistic thing. So in nature, if you are that bunny rabbit in the field, if you flicker a little whisker, you might be dinner. You might be seen by some predator. You know, all animals, that's the case. And this is an animal instinct. So first, I just want to give you this little process, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the context for this. But the first thing is to recognize and call it out. This is just a freeze response. This is a false message. I am safe. And I also want you to recognize that positive emotion creates movement in the nervous system, which will generate movement in the body at some point. Happy people don't hold still. People who aren't in freeze aren't going to be, even if you're comfortable, even if you're content, even if you're in juicy calm, you're still going to roll over and snuggle into your pillow. You're going to be moving on some level, and your brain is seeing that as utterly unsafe. So positive emotion tends to be elevating your mood, doing practice rounds, doing visualization, all forms of mood elevation, even calm, because they create a flow of positive energy through the nervous system, tend to be seen as a threat when you're in freeze, which can make using your tools seem like a threat when you're in freeze, which can obviously create some stuckness and some stagnancy. So recognize, take a moment to pause and really connect with your limbic system and affirm, I see that you're trying to protect me. We are completely safe. Being completely still like this, there's no need. It does not protect us. There is no threat. You don't need to protect me. It is safe to move. It is safe to experience positive emotion. This is simply a false message. And starting to recognize one of the biggest things that can keep us really stuck with freeze is that we'll have an overwhelm response to literally everything, every thought, every possible decision, just total overwhelm response. Like I can't go there. It's just too much. It feels completely overwhelming. So start with calling the bluff and really recognizing that this is just a trauma response. It's just a stress response. It is just protective. It's just limbic. It's not true. It's not real. And you can act outside of it. You can still choose to say, yeah, I see that you're trying to protect me. I hear you, but we're safe. I've got us. I'm here to protect you. And we're perfectly safe. Our environment's safe. Everything's fine. It is completely safe to be joyful, to be calm, to be content, to be happy. And continue to connect with your limbic system. Connection and then redirection creates safety. Connection is safety. So really coming as present as you can and acknowledging that it's a false message and connecting with the part of you that's trying to protect you and calling the bluff on the fact that there is no life-threatening situation and it is totally safe to move into relaxation chemistry. And as you seek to elevate your mood or create relaxation chemistry, keep coming back to that. Keep coming back to that understanding repetitively as you go through this, and that can really help you to break out of that freeze. It is just so common that any positive emotion feels very dangerous when we're in freeze, and that is a false message, I promise you. So practice acting into that truth, reminding yourself that you are safe, and trauma responses are not to be believed. They're not real. It's just a limbic pattern, just a false message. I love you guys. I hope this helped.